Hello, everybody, and I hope everybody is doing well today. Um, it's funny because this particular morning, I was nice and sleep, and somehow I was hearing the piano playing to the beginning part of the Biggie song. I got a story to tell, right? And okay, so I figure I might as well tell one and share one and put a little message to it, right? Okay, the title of this message is called A Time and Place for Everything. I'm not sure, but I'm sure a lot of us has heard our parents say that before. There's a time and a place for everything, right? And I grew up actually a firm believer of that. Okay, so we're going to start out with we're at an opera. Even though we all may be somewhere sitting at our desk or at home, I don't know what everybody's doing this morning. I'm on the road traveling, I don't know. But today, let's visualize ourselves at an opera, right? We are in an opera. And it comes down to the point where there's this sensitive scene, and you're really trying to focus on what the dancers and the opera singer are trying to, um, relate to us in what the story, what's going on in this particular part. So everybody's pretty focused, looking right. All of a sudden, from a row behind you, you hear somebody saying, "Oh my goodness, that dress is beautiful. What is that? Is that mahogany or is it sapphire?" That is so beautiful. Back in the day, I used to have a dress like that. And this person begins to tell their whole story, and they on 10, which means they're very loud. You know what I'm saying? Instead of whispering to the person beside them saying, "Oh, that dress is beautiful, isn't it? Is that mahogany or is it sapphire?" Oh, and most people don't even want to hear you whisper when it comes to the more in-depth scenes, right? Okay, so all right, that would be sort of annoying, right? Time and a place for everything, right? Now we've all been in our local theaters back in the day. I know even for myself, we would all be in there watching a movie, whatever type of movie it may have been. It could have been a horror movie or anything like that. I don't know, but maybe somebody would yell out something, and in that moment, it was a moment that was sort of hype, that maybe everybody was sort of thinking the same thing, but somebody yells it out and everybody in the theater begins to laugh. However, there are times when you may be watching a movie and the actors go quiet and they're talking, and it's a specific scene where you really need to pay attention and listen. And if someone was blurting out the same way they did in the more hyper complex scene, you wouldn't want to hear that because you're trying to focus and hear what this actress is saying in this serious part of the film, right? So, time and a place for everything, right? Okay, I'll even share with y'all a moment with me back in the day when I was in high school. We had the head of the English department, my English teacher. He made the kind decision to select just a few of the students to attend a play, right? At a live play at a theater. This play was called A Raisin in the Sun, right? And in this play, one of the actors were Esther Rolle. Esther Rolle, for those of you who aren't familiar with Esther Rolle, she is the mother from Good Times. So I was pretty excited to go. I think we all were. It was only about maybe 7 of us. I don't even know, maybe seven or not too many at all out of the whole class, right, that he had selected. Now, we're watching the film and we're listening and everything was going fine. But then there came a part in the film where the scene got real serious. In this part, the her son had actually took the father's insurance money. It was the insurance money um, that the father it was left behind after the father had passed, and the family had decided they were going to use it to move away, and use it to move away and relocate and all of that stuff to somewhere better. And some of it, I think, all was also for the the daughter. For college funds, right? So the brother decides to invest in some deal with his two friends, right? His two friends, one of them, I can't remember one name, but the other one name was Willie, right? He decided to invest the money into that. And the mother gave him like 65, he took like $6,500, which back then was a lot of money because it was an old film, right? So he invested the money in a deal with his friends, right? They all supposedly were putting up money and for this deal. But later he finds out when another friend, the third friend that also put money into the deal, comes and tells him that the friend Willie, who was holding the money, was nowhere to be found, right? So basically, Willie took off with the money, and the mother begins to express to him when she finds out what the son had done, because she had no idea he did that. When she finds out what he had done, she begins to express her disappointment about it, right? And in her expressing her disappointment about it, she begins to talk about how hard the father had worked and worked and worked for them to have a better life. How hard he had worked, and to the point he worked himself to the bone every day, to the point he had even became frail and his eyes would be red and tired, and he worked himself to the bone. So she was basically mad, like, how dare you do this? What have you done? Right? And it was really dramatic scene. But to us in that moment, the way that Esther Rolle portrayed it and the way she was yelling and stuff like that, it was a bit humorous for some reason. In our entire row, in the midst of all the silent adults who were very focused on the scene and knew how in depth it was, um, I whole I bust out laughing. And I tell you, my teacher turned around so fast and looked at us like the director of the funeral home from Tales of the Hood. He was pissed off and humiliated, slightly humiliated, justifiably so, right? Now, what I'm gonna say about that is like that was a moment where you have to have a little tact, right? And I'm gonna tell you, even as an adult, when I watch that scene, somehow it still tickles me. Maybe it's because of a memory from high school. I don't know, but somehow it still seems to tickle me. But at the end of the day, this is where we go. I'm just telling y'all to have a little tact when you're out there, right? It ain't gonna hurt nothing, right? That don't mean you have to not be yourself, but there's a time and a place for everything. It truly is, right? That's the first message. I'm gonna combine it with another one, and I don't know if this will even last long enough. But in the second message, it's called All That Won't Kill You. All that won't kill you can only make you stronger, right? All that won't kill you can only make you stronger. We have to know that the devil likes to see us down. He likes to see us give up. He likes to see us, you know, saddened by stuff and stuff like that, right? And I told y'all back in the day in one of my other videos that when it comes to the narcissist, when they see you down or in despair, if you look at them, you could always almost see them smirking about it. It's really a demonic thing. Smirking to see you down, hurt, and they feel absolutely nothing. They're almost glad that you are down or giving up, right? Okay, so I told y'all about that. So, what I want y'all to remember in that moment is to stand in your power. You have to stand with 10 toes down and planted firmly on the ground, right? Because you don't want to have your 10 toes up, right? Because if your 10 toes up, that means you stretched out. You done. It's over, right? And you gotta remember, let's go back to the opera to tell that fat lady, hey, fat lady, right? You know how they had a fat lady at the end of the opera who sings, and that's when the final curtain call is coming soon, right? You had to tell that fat lady, hey, fat lady, I sure hope you can hold a note. You right? You know how they say, I ain't heard no fat lady. You gotta tell that fat lady, I sure hope you can hold a note. Cause the show must go on, right? And so do y'all have to keep going on, right? Keep pushing through it all. Don't let nothing get you in your mind. It can only make you stronger, right? You gotta keep pushing. As long as you got breath in your body, warm blood running in your veins, you got to keep pushing. It ain't over till it's over. And I ain't heard no fat lady. Y'all have a blessed day. I love y'all. Okay, bye bye.